very unlike me. I'm a bit of a tired girly today. Cracking open a Red Bull. I feel like, who does this? Jordan Lipscomb? Ooh, that's refreshing. I would have made myself like an iced coffee or something, but I've run out of milk. So this will make do for the energy front. But hi guys, I felt like today, it's been a grey day here in Manchester. I thought what better way to spend my time than to do another like sit down, in-depth makeup routine type video. Last time I did this, it was very much a going out glam, my go-to look for like, you know, events and pictures and stuff like that. And I did say if you want me to do like this type of video where I'm really just talking about products, going old school with the like makeup tutorial, education tips, that kind of vibe, but for something more everyday and natural, to let me know. And so many of you said yes. So that's what we're going to do today. And I'm really excited because I've got some new products, some different kind of tips, and just, yeah, I do actually love doing this kind of makeup, believe it or not. I do love a full glam moment, don't get me wrong. But what I also love is doing glam that like looks super natural. Everyone's version of natural is going to be different, so that's something to bear in mind. For me, natural doesn't necessarily mean like less, well, it does sort of, like less product as such. Like I'm still going to be using quite a few products, as you'll see. Like as always, I leave it listed and like links down below if you're interested. But just techniques, the way that we're doing it, it's not like as much effort for someone like me as such. So this is like my version of like a clean girl, natural everyday makeup in comparison to like what I could and usually do. Like, for example, I might still wear lashes in this video. They might be a slightly different style of lash, but for me, I can apply lashes in like 2 seconds. That's not like a big deal for me, you know? So there's gonna be elements of each step along the way with something like this where skip it, don't include it, do your own version of it. Obviously, this is just gonna be my version of like a everyday natural makeup look. Probably gonna be some like product inspo as well. So yeah, I feel like I always over-explain myself, and you're probably all thinking like, Rachel, shut the fuck up and just do the makeup. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. If I'm gonna be doing natural makeup, I 100% need to make sure that my skin is like prepped accordingly. I think that's one thing when it comes to like natural makeup and you're gonna be wearing like minimal makeup and stuff. People like to skip out on the priming side of things, but that's the difference. Like when you go to events and stuff like that, people tend to wear heavier makeup because like it tends to last a bit longer on the skin because there's like more on the skin, if that makes sense. Like that's kind of the key to making it last. It's like fuller coverage and there's more products, etc., etc. So if you're going to be wearing minimal makeup, but you still want your makeup to last and not like slip off your face, you really need to prioritize like how you're prepping your skin, even though you know you're not going to be going on with a lot, if that makes sense. So I'm just making sure I'm starting with like clean skin. I have like washed my face and showered and stuff, but sometimes I just like to go over with a wipe just to make sure, because sometimes I just don't be getting it all. So I'll shout out like a few products, but I never skip this step. I'm always using ever since I've used these L'Oreal serums, I just don't really reach for anything else when it comes to moisturizing my skin before makeup, just because I love the concept of a serum that is so hydrating. They're just really great for your skin, but normally like a lot of serums are designed to be used at nighttime because they can be quite heavy on the skin. They're not designed for like makeup to go on top. So like you kind of sleep in them and they really get to work. But these, so lightweight. I feel like they do such a good job at just hydrating my skin, but without it feeling too heavy, and they work well under makeup. It's literally like the whole point of them. So that one's the Revitalift Hydrating Smoothing Serum, which hydrating, smoothing under makeup, who doesn't love that? Love that. And and it does have like a little bit of attack, but we are going to go in with a primer as well, purely because I'm actually not going to be wearing foundation in this video. I am wearing like a base, but it's just not foundation. So therefore, lighter weight on the skin, but I want it to stay on my skin. So I've been absolutely loving this. This is from the Beauty Crop. It's the Cherie. You guys know I'm obsessed with that spray. Part of the same range, and it's their hydrating gripping primer, and it's got hyaluronic acid in it. I accidentally like snapped the thing, so I have to like squeeze it out, but still works. And I feel like that was actually quite a lot. You don't need to put as much as that on, okay? I've made a mistake, but I'll just spread that over and use your hands, use whatever you want. I just quite like to use a brush. And applying my primers, feel like it just evenly distributes the product and then means that my hands stay relatively clear. But I've had this in my collection for ages, and I don't know why I like missed it. I don't like, do you know what I mean? You guys know one of my favorite primers to use for like events and stuff when I want my makeup to last is the Milk Hydro Grip primer, because that one is super hydrating and gripping. So then I felt like I was like really overusing it. So I was like looking in my collection being like, what can I use in videos? And just like, you know, what do I have in my collection that is similar to this? And I saw this. And I'm also trying to be quite mindful in terms of using a variation of products. I'm not using all high-end. I'm not using all drugstore. I'm trying to like mix it up, because there's some things I like think are like such good like high-end dupes, and then there's some things that like, I don't know, I think are worth the price and are worth investing in when it comes to making like natural makeup like look really pretty. I don't know. But you can just take inspo from the products. You can probably achieve this exact look using stuff that you already have, or treat yourself. And maybe I'm going to introduce you to some bomb new stuff if this is your vibe. So this is the Skin Prepped. I don't know if you can hear the tack or like see. It's got a little bit of attack, but my skin feels like and looks so glowy and hydrated. This is what I want my base to look like before going in with, you know, actual like base products. Now, I understand that these are probably like out of stock. I'm going to do my best to try and link them down below if possible. But I feel like this is essentially, it's just like a bronzing product, but it has anti-pollution, like sunshine protection in it, which is why people love it, because it gives bronze to the skin and it's got like protective qualities to it. I have seen someone on TikTok saying that Primark do a dupe of something like this. I've also seen that there's like a L'Oreal Men Expert like bronzing dupe, or you could just mix a little bit of whatever cream bronzer you've got into a moisturizer, or like I'm gonna use an SPF. So I'm actually going to be using the Supergoop Glow Screen. Obsessed with this because it has a bit of a glow to it. You could just use any SPF, and I'm mixing these two together for a super UV protective base with a little bit of color and a bit of glow. If you don't like glow, mix it out to like a regular SPF. We should all be wearing SPF on like a day-to-day type basis. I'm obsessed with this one. I've put so many people onto this product. I think it's amazing, especially for your holiday. Like if you just want to let your skin breathe, but you want it to look beautiful, an SPF with a glow to it is insane. So I just like to, I'm literally like nearly at the end of this, squeeze this on my skin and then mix a little bit of these bronzing drops in for a bit of color and protection. Literally like that. These are designed to be mixed in with a product, moisturizer, whatever you want. And then I'm just going to buff this into the skin. You can see how like glowy that is. Like I kind of look like a donut right now, but this isn't the end result. We are going to be doing powder concealer, all of that kind of stuff. Because yes, for me, that is still natural and part of like everyday makeup. But this is kind of giving me holiday makeup vibes. But like I said, you don't have to use a glowy SPF, but just whatever you want. Now, I think personally, creams are the best way to keep things looking natural, even though in this video, I'm gonna be doing creams and powders. That's just because that's the way I like to do it. That's quick, that's easy for me, and I can still make it look natural. And I just feel like the powders that I use essentially just set the creams that I'm gonna use, and you should always set the creams on your face unless you have like extremely dry skin. But I'm gonna be going in with the Made by Mitchell liquid blush, like the blush bronzed in Shady Business as the cream contour today. Why do I always talk and everything goes up at the end? Because I don't want anything too crazy. And I think this gives like a natural warmth to the skin. Like I'm not trying to like cream contour as such, even though I think I just said like for cream contour, I'm gonna be using, this is definitely more for just like warming up the skin. Like literally nothing too crazy. Now, obviously, depending on your skin, I feel like this is where you could spot conceal and or just conceal in general if there's other places on your face that you want to add a little bit more like coverage to. I absolutely love this concealer for every day. It's from Kosas, which I feel like is a brand I'm quite late to the party to. The finish of this is absolutely stunning. I have also seen, I feel like there's an influencer trip right now for this product, but Tarte have come out with their Shape Tape in like a radiant formula, which I feel like that's gonna be a great concealer for every day. But I'm using this one from Kosas. But just use this moment to spot conceal, add coverage where you may want some. You just tailor this part to you in terms of like adding the coverage. I also really love the NARS Soft Matte for like spot concealing. I love the formula of it. They do obviously so many colors and it's full coverage, but it doesn't look too cakey, especially if you go on with your finger. NARS do great products for the skin. I'm using the shade 4.5N, so it's gonna have like some brightening vibes, but it's not like super crazy, you know? It's not super full coverage. I definitely would say this is more of like a medium coverage concealer. And I think if you struggle with like creasing under the eyes as well, this formula is like amazing. It literally just melts into the skin. I feel like we are just looking so radiant right now, which is exactly what we want. Sometimes I just go back in with my cream bronzer brush just to make sure that's all there. And then the brush I use to apply my like skin products like SPF, sometimes I just like to use it as like a little diffusing moment. So for blusher, I have just really been in my Made by Mitchell blush mixing era. He has so many different colors and formulas that I look at and I'm just like, oh, I just want to mix and match and play. So today we have a new concoction. We are going to be using Posy Rosy, which I think is such a great shade for just all skin tones. I'm going to mix a tiny bit of the Blush Lights in a Chance of Peach. It's like a orangey, it's like looks really orangey. It's like peach with like reflex of pink in it. You know, like in my videos when I mix champagne spray and the pink one, what is that? Candy Trip together for like a highlighter. I'm just essentially doing the same thing, but I'm mixing a Chance of Peach with Posy Rosy. So like a matte and a shimmer for like a super glowy, like a blush. I'm like so excited. I haven't actually like done this before, but I was going through my collection and I was like, that looks stunning and I need to try it. And it was giving me like, it would be perfect for every day, like that pinky, glowy vibe. Yep. Oh my God, I've just found my new, yes, that is beautiful. Like on the nose, like it's giving, you know, I love that Kylie, like it's giving dewy, like dewy pink. You know, the way that I love that Kylie cheek dew product. This is giving me that, like, it looks very similar. And that like subtle like pink reflex in this and this together, that is beautiful. And you may be thinking like, you know, for every day I don't want to be like mixing products and stuff. Like I said, I feel like that Kylie one gives the same vibe, but you just need to like swipe one on each cheek, and I don't know, I feel like that's not a huge amount of effort for something beautiful. So that's kind of all of the cream products I think I'm using on the skin. So I do feel like it's important to just, in anyone's makeup for every day, whether you wear no makeup at all, or like just like the minimal amount, or like you wear loads, a good translucent powder and a powder puff is just gonna make whatever on your face last. And essentially, I feel like nobody wears makeup with the intention of wanting it to come off. So a powder puff and a good translucent powder is all you're gonna need. I mean, you could even use like a big fluffy brush for like everywhere, which I kind of do sometimes if I'm in a rush. But if there's certain places that you just, you know, come off, or you know your skin better than anyone, if you know that you get really sweaty upper lip or under your eyes, you find it just all just slips off your face, a powder puff and a translucent powder is just gonna lock everything in place. And then we've got sprays that are gonna, you know, if you're scared to do that because you don't want it to look really cakey and really powdery, we've got sprays to fix that, do not worry. So I'm just taking a little powder puff with the Laura Mercier Ultra Blur translucent powder and just setting underneath my eyes with that. That's where I'm gonna go in with the powder puff to just really lock that in. You can see already the difference. I also get a little bit sweaty on my like mouth area. So I'm just gonna use a powder puff there. So essentially down like the center of my face, which I feel like is quite common for a lot of people, you know, when people talk about your T-zone, that's where a lot of people produce the most oils, and therefore we wanna set that in place. And then I am actually gonna take a big powder brush because I don't want to lose like all of the dewy vibes I've created, and just still set it, but obviously not as like intensely as like a powder puff. Just lightly dusting the powder all over my face. And speaking of Laura Mercier powders, guys, I don't know if like people have caught on with this, or if I'm just so late to the party or what, but I was browsing on ASOS Beauty the other day, came across this, travel size, amazing. It's their translucent powder in baby pink. Did anybody else know that Laura Mercier did a translucent powder in baby pink? Because I feel like the Laura Mercier translucent powder is like the best translucent powder. And they now do it in baby pink. Just saying, I found it on ASOS. Not really seen anyone talking about it, so do with that what you want. So this is what the skin looks like with just kind of all the creams and then that set in place. You could just leave that there. If this is enough for you, this look is fine, then leave it there. You know, move on to your brows, lashes, lips, or if that's the end of that, then leave it there. I personally do just like to go in with powders essentially to just bring it all a bit more to like life as such. Benefit Hoola, always do, to just kind of contour underneath the cream bronzer. You can see already it just kind of brings it to life a bit, and I'm just going to go down my nose really just roughly, and again buff the brush just in my eye sockets like that. Now another step that I feel like I feel like it would just make such a difference in so many people's makeup steps, especially if you like this clean girl, really natural looking skin vibe. One step I don't think you should ever miss or, like skip is just bronzing and glowing the skin. I think even if you wear just like SPF and a bit of bronzer, like I just think bronzer makes such a difference in adding like dimension to your face and warmth to your skin, and it just gives that like healthy glow. Get yourself a shimmery bronzer. Now I've mixed it up and I've gone old school, and I was thinking about when I used to work at MAC and just like, you know, the products that I would use then. Gold Deposit from MAC, do not sleep on it. I love this. The mineralized range that they do is designed to just like blend and like work with your skin, especially if you've got oily skin. I feel like the mineralized range might scare some people because, I don't know, a lot of the products are kind of advertised as like dewy, but they're designed to work with like the oils in your skin and stuff, and they just look the most natural on the skin, no matter what your skin tone, and actually work really great on oily skin. But this is essentially just like a shimmery bronzer that I think if you're going on holiday or you like natural makeup, and sometimes like putting a powder bronzer, like a matte powder bronzer just on your skin, it just like looks a bit, I don't know, weird, drawn on, cakey. A shimmery bronzer. I feel like on my gravestone, just write Rach Leary. Everyone needs a shimmery bronzer. Like, that was my dying message to everyone. Like, it just warms the skin, but blends beautifully. And if you think that's too shimmery, go back in with your powder puff, just like through the T-zone. Honestly, just having that glow like on the peaks of like your forehead and on your cheeks, I personally think just looks beautiful, and I will die on that hill. Anyway, blush. Speaking of MAC Mineralized Blush, I saw this when I did a little Sephora UK shop. Thought I'd get some new makeup. Look at this blusher. It's from the Mineralized range called Bubbles Please, which, such a mood, always down for bubbles. It's like a bit more of like a deeper baby pink. That is stunning. And like I said, with this mineralized range, you can't go wrong. Like, the formula is designed to blend and melt into your skin and just look so natural. Well, that's what it used to be. When I worked on counter, I feel like it still is, because I feel like that's so nice. What ones did we like on counter? God, I can't remember. Like Warm Soul. God, the fact that I've just remembered that is top notch from me. But Warm Soul was like, oh, it was like Victoria's Secret runway skin blush. Honestly, stunning. So, don't know if this is a new shade or not, but Bubbles Please, if you like that blue tone pink and you want like an everyday blush, is absolutely gorgeous. But I feel like that might be everything for the powders. I feel like it is. So I'm gonna go in. Now we've done all the powders on the skin with this spray. This is the Wee Cherie Hydrating Dual Mist Spray. It's got hyaluronic acid in it. I will die on the hyaluronic acid hill as well. I think if you're scared of looking too powdery, or you're finding that your makeup's looking too powdery, finding a setting spray that has hyaluronic acid in it is gonna be game-changing for you. It really just brings your skin to life and gets rid of that powdery look while, you know, not disrupting your makeup or anything. So if this is still in stock, I'm going to leave it linked down below, because I've not found one comparable to this. I feel like MAC Fix Plus does the same sort of vibe, but I don't think it's got hyaluronic acid in it. And I really feel like that's the key ingredient in this spray. I don't know, it's like magic in a spray. And while that's like drying, do I really need a cream? I'm gonna do it anyway, because I do really like that glass looking skin effect, especially if I'm going for like a more clean girl, dewy vibes. Made by Mitchell champagne spray. Normally I mix Candy Trip in it, but I won't overcomplicate it today. A cream highlighter works wonders, and while your skin is damp, great time to apply it. So I'm just gonna take the bottom end of a sponge, champagne spray, and this isn't necessarily meant to be like a highlighter, it's just meant to make your skin look like glass. And even me right now, I'm just gonna grab my powder again, translucent, whatever's like in the lid. Honestly, like I'm just really wanting to just dust this through the T-zone one more time. Perfect. So I'm gonna now use this time to do my eyebrows. I like to use the Pink Honey brow pen in Cinnamon Bun. And again, if you maybe have like more naturally full brows, or you don't, again, really like anything too faffy, this from Kosas is so good. It's called their Air Brow. It's a tinted brow gel. Run that through. Amazing. It's got like such good pigment, adds like volume to it. I like to do a little bit of both because my brows just need a little bit of extra help, but brows are so personal, so just do your brows. Some people find it really easy to do brows, some people don't. So if you don't find it easy to do brows, this is a great product. I personally can do a brow quite quickly with a and it's fine. Like, it's no stress for me. So you do you at this point when it comes to brows. Okay, brows done, and now it's kind of up to you what you want to do here. I feel like eyes always look a little bit, they just always look better if you've got like just one thing in the crease. I know we like buffed like the bronzer like just slightly through it. I'm genuinely just taking a buffing brush that I've got with like nothing on it just to add something. I feel like if you leave the eyes completely bare, it can just look a little, I don't know, they just need like something. So I actually didn't really take anything on that brush, but literally just like your bronzer, anything, just so your eyes have a little bit of dimension going on. But I'm just gonna curl my lashes and put mascara on. And I've been loving this Fenty Beauty mascara. If you have naturally really long lashes, then you guys can just leave it here after putting mascara on. But I feel like I might, well, we'll see. I'll put, if it's a good mascara day, maybe I'll just leave it. But some really great alternatives that I just thought I might share with my lash lovers, if you're like me and like would love to just wear mascara, but I don't know, sometimes I just feel like I need a little bit more. The Doll Beauty Dolly Wispies are a beautiful everyday lash, and also the Tatty Lashes like cluster are gorgeous as well. So I might do these, but let's just see if we have a good mascara day or not. And I'm using the Fenty Beauty mascara, the new one. My lash lengths are like hilarious. Also love this from UK Lash. It's their like lash separator. Yeah, I feel like I've got like really long lashes in like the inner part of my eye, and then in the middle they're just like really short, and then I have like long ones at the end. So my lashes low-key need like a little bit of assistance, so I feel like I will be going in with, I don't know, we'll do the individual lashes because I really like the look of those. But I do think curling your lashes makes such a difference. Even if you think you've got no lashes, curling might just be the answer. And a good mascara ofs. See, like, what happened to like these lashes in the middle? This like is okay. I could deal with lashes like this. I feel like I must have just like ripped off a strip lash or something. I don't know. It sounds upsetting. But anyway, I'm going to use the Tatty Lashes cluster lashes. Obviously, like I said, if lashes are a no-go for you, leave them out. Just do your mascara. If you don't even like to wear mascara, don't even do that. For me, lashes is like second nature to me. So it's not like a, I don't know what's the word. it doesn't feel like a lot of effort for me. For me, this is still gonna be very natural. I'm not wearing a strip lash, I'm wearing individual lashes, and for me, I can just do these quite easily. So it's no bother, just do whatever you're able to do. And I feel like they make such a subtle difference. So I'm gonna take the 8mm ones, which is the shortest length cluster. And we're gonna use that to fill in the gap where I don't know, like where my lashes went. So let's just pop them there, fill in that gap. Then I'm just gonna make my way like up the lengths, I guess. So the next one is the 10mm one. They have like little glue pockets that you can pop your lash glue in as well, which is so helpful, so I'm not like dispersing my glue on just random palettes nearby. I feel like it makes sense in terms of like the placement, and I love these clusters way more than like super individual lashes, because that's when I feel like they're really hard to use. Like you're trying to stick this tiny little lash like on your lashes and it all gets a little bit stuck. Like these are great, especially if you just need just a little something. These are amazing and actually so much easier to use than you may think. See, do I need any more than that? I might just, fuck it, might as well just do the longest one, because I do like my eyes to have a bit of wisp. And the good thing about these is you can place them on your eye and just like kind of let them dry. And then once they're dry, like I feel like the clamping makes all the difference. But you can see, like once you've got that placement on, like let's just like let it dry so we can clamp around and make sure that they're like proper stuck on. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the same on the other eye. See, this is what the lashes look like. I mean, this eye's still like drying a bit. Just kind of looks like I've got lash extensions, to be completely honest. And for me, that was like so quick. And I feel like with things like that, the more you do it, the easier it becomes and the quicker it gets. So now it's just lips. And I feel like for quick everyday, the only two things I feel like, well actually I feel like you can never go wrong with a gloss. But I feel like a lip liner and a gloss, quick, easy, and I just think it's like the easiest to like maintain throughout the day as well. And I'm so excited about this. I'm using the new Nude Cosmetics by Mary Bedford, and I'm going to use the lip liner in Creme Brulee and the gloss in Prinny, which looks stunning. It's like a shimmer pink, and all of her lip liners are like a neutral nude brown shade. And they're like wind up retractable, which I think to carry around with you and to keep topping up throughout the day is the best. Don't have to worry about like a sharpener. And I'm kind of taking this like to line my lips, but also kind of like bringing it forward. Is that not like the most perfect everyday color? That's the shade Creme Brulee. I love that, and I love that it didn't like melt away. Sometimes with retractable liners, they just kind of like melt. Like it was quite like it's a firm pencil in a retractable packaging, which I love. And I love that brown. It's perfect. And I love a brown lip liner with a pinky gloss. Yeah, and this is the shade Prinny. That is some serious high shine. Those two together is the perfect lip for this look, because that is just literally what I want my lips to look like every day. Like how beautiful do they look? Once you're happy with everything, you can just go in. I have this like mini Urban Decay all-nighter, just to lock everything in place. But essentially, that's it. I feel like some products I use in my more like heavier makeup tutorials, but the way that I've applied them today, slightly different in a more like natural, everyday, easy kind of way. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, either some tips, tricks, new products, or just some like makeup inspo. You guys know I love me a full glam moment, but days like this for me, if I wasn't filming and like talking, I could whack out this in like 20 minutes. When you have just like good staple products and you invest in like the right areas, even a more natural glam like this hopefully should last you throughout the whole day. But yeah, I've listed everything down below for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it, found it maybe somewhat educational. Obsessed with this gloss. Like I keep looking at it being like, my lips just look so shiny and juicy. My skin is just looking so natural and radiant. It's giving clean girl, dewy holiday makeup, which yeah, I'm obsessed with. So hope you loved it and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Mwah.